Have you had nightmares before? Have you ever experienced repeated nightmares? I had this experience. When I was a child, my family asked me to join them watching some zombie movies. After that, I had repeated nightmares for more than 3 months that I was chased by a zombie in the dream all the time. So I was really traumatized by it. Do you know, actually, nowadays, we have a lot of good resources, very scientific ways to help us deal with nightmares and sleep better. Hi, I'm Dr. Yishan, a licensed clinical psychologist and board-certified sleep psychologist. So I want to use this chance to share with you how to deal with nightmares. So first, we need to understand why we would have nightmares. 2 common reasons for that. First, it's traumatic experience. For example, if you experienced trauma or you were abused, you were mistreated before by others, of course that's gonna traumatize you emotionally, and you're gonna carry this kind of emotional memories with you. And what our brain does is it tries to understand these emotional memories, reprocess it, and help us deal with it better in the future to increase our survival rate. How it does it is through our REM sleep, which is our dreaming stage. Our REM sleep stage actually is used to process our emotional memories. That's why if we had traumatic experience before, we tend to have nightmares and re-experience those memories again and again in the dream, because that's our brain trying to protect us by replaying it, processing it, understanding it, and try to figure out a way to deal with it so we are not get hurt in the future again. Unfortunately, this process can be very painful. If we don't have a good way to deal with it, we're going to repeat this nightmare pattern for a long time. The second is obstructive sleep apnea. So you possibly don't know, this type of sleep disorder actually can make our nightmare worse. First, when you cannot breathe very well during sleep, you increase the stress level of your whole body, of your brain. And a lot of times that is related to more intense, more aggressive, more violent dreams. So basically, if you have obstructive sleep apnea, OSA, you may experience more frequent nightmares. There are also a lot of research have shown by treating your OSA, for example, using CPAP machine for a while, a lot of people report a reduced frequency of their nightmares. So that means if you are able to treat your sleep apnea properly, as that gets better, your nightmare gonna get better too. So now the question is, if you have trauma-related nightmares, what can you do to cope with it? Today I want to introduce one method, induce lucid dreaming, and help you control and change the content of your nightmare. You know why nightmares is so frustrating and scary for a lot of us? It's because you don't have any control of the storyline in the dream. And often it comes with some horrible results. Actually, our dream can totally be changed. But in order to change our dream, you're gonna have to realize you are dreaming, right? So this kind of consciousness actually is called lucid dreaming. Can we train ourselves to enter lucid dreaming more easily? A lot of research shows yes. So for example, in this conference, Dr. Peller's lab from Northwestern University, they have done a lot of research to show how to use different sound cues or smell cues to help you induce yourself into a lucid dreaming stage. And the successful rate is quite high. They use a technology called TMR, Targeted Memory Reactivation. So that means when you are awake, you pair certain memories, thoughts with a sound cue. And then when you are dreaming, the experimenters play the same sound cues. Then a lot of people report they actually could realize they are dreaming, and even in their lucid dreaming, most of them can realize the cue. Also, you even can interact with other people and react to certain questions when you are dreaming. So what does research mean? They tell us we are capable of training ourselves into lucid dreaming and we are capable of altering our dream content. Here, I want to give you 4 tips to do the reality check, and that's the best way to tell are you in reality or you are in a dream. First is time. In the dream, look at the clock. See whether the clock is moving forward or backward. Or you can look at the clock, then look away, then look back to see whether the time makes sense. Second, words. In the dream, whether you can make sense of the words of what you are reading. If it does not make sense, no matter how hard you try, then very likely you are dreaming. 3. Normal physical rules. In our dream, normal physical rules may not apply anymore, or it may not be consistent. So you can try, for example, jump up and fall down to see whether you just never fall down, or whether you experience less impact of the ground. 4. It's function. A lot of daily utilities does not function very well in our dreams. So you can try to switch the light, to turn on certain machines, see whether they work. Very likely in our dreams, they don't work. So once you realize you are dreaming, what can you do to really alter the dream content to make a nightmare not a nightmare anymore? So here, I want to give you 3 tips to deal with it. First, get grounded. So when you are in a lucid dreaming stage, try to get grounded. Use your 5 senses. For example, you can touch something around you or touch yourself and try to listen to some sound, try to taste something, smell something. Try to get grounded in the dream. That may calm you a little bit. Second, you can always call for a stop in your dream. Remember, that's your dream, you have control. So once you're realizing you are in a dream, you can try to call out loud, stop, I don't want this. Or you can try to repeat, this is a dream, I need to stop dreaming, I need to be awake, awake now. This method, if you practice it, it may help you interrupt the dream and help you get awake, or interrupt the flow of the dream and change the content of it. So I actually tried them and it worked for me. For example, I dreamed about ghosts one night. So I was trying to go down a stair, but it never ended. I never get to the first floor, even though I know I was on the 3rd floor. So it's not supposed to take that long. Then I realized, okay, I'm mass dreaming and I'm dreaming about ghosts. I remember I yelled out really loud in the dream, saying, stop, I need to go to the 1st floor. And then guess what? All this ghost stuff gone. And I was able to find the 1st floor very easily and get down the stairs. My dream continued, but in a way that it's not scary anymore. So if you like this, give it a try. So the 3rd method actually comes from a type of therapy called IRT, imagery rehearsal therapy. So the simpler version of this method is if you have repeated a dream, share a common theme. So when you awake, you want to write down some of these dreams. You can change how you interact with others in your dream. You can change the result of the dream. So after you write a new dream out, a dream that really empowering yourself, empowering this whole experience. So you want to rehearse this story before you go to bed. After a while, you will find what you wrote and rehearsed will become the new dream. Well, of course, remember, this video is just a general educational video. If you have more severe trauma and severe nightmare issues, you can consider go to a sleep psychologist, find them for one-on-one, deeper intervention. At the end, I also want to remind you, if you have obstructive sleep apnea problem that related to nightmare, you may want to get it checked out and get it treated first. So I want to emphasize, if you experience the trauma, remember that it's not your mistake. There's a lot of hope and resources to help you cure the nightmare, cure the trauma, get better. Remember, love yourself and you're worth it. I'm Dr. Yishan. If you like my show, please consider subscribe and like. You can follow our Instagram and join our email newsletter list. All the information are down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.
Are you struggling with insomnia? Do you know there's one method out there? It's first-line treatment in many countries. It's very evidence-based and it's very effective. And it's called CBTI. So I have designed this 4-week-long CBTI course to help you recover from insomnia without relying on medication. I provide weekly Q&A sessions to help you tailor the treatment to your own needs and your own sleep pattern. Check it out at this website, mindbodygarden.com/insomnia.